Good evening, good evening. It is Friday night. It is night two of the semifinals. Night two of the semifinals. Let me get my partner up here. It's night two of the semifinals. Welcome, 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 welcome to the college football playoff kickoff show. Here, my host here, D True. Salute to you, brother. Happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to the chat. Salute to everyone in the chat. Salute, 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 salute. Got a lot of Big Ten people in the chat here this evening, and let me salute them here real quick. T Guns, what's going on, bro? Salute. He's predicting a huge blowout win for Indiana. Agent Smith is predicting the Oregon win. Alpha is predicting Indiana. Joe Outdoors predicting Indiana. Lisa Sim, salute to you, baby girl. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute. She said either way, it's a win for the Big Ten. And I just want to start off here and say, and then D Troop, you can just rebut if you have any rebuttal to what I'm about to say. Salute to you, Sikkim. Um, and before I say this, I'm gonna put Alpha's comment up here. I'm gonna put Alpha's comment up here. Salute to you, Alpha. For those of you who don't know, Alpha is a diehard Ohio State fan. Salute to you, salute. He says, damn, Mondo, your SEC is down bad. 5 teams made the playoffs, and none of them made it to the title game for the third straight year in a row. The SEC is down bad. I'm going to go ahead and one thing about it, I keep it real. I'm going to keep it a buck. And I come to the realization that things have changed. The SEC, I'm not going to say the SEC, I'm not going to go as far as saying the SEC is down bad right now, but the SEC is not the best conference anymore. I'm saying it right here out loud publicly. The SEC is not the best conference anymore right now. As far as now, we'll see what as far as like putting the most players in the draft. I think the SEC still holds that mantle or still carries that mantle. But as far as like winning and winning championships, the Big Ten is dominating right now. I got to keep it a buck, D Truth. I got to keep it real. I'm not going to lie to the people. I'm an SEC guy, born and bred, born and raised, the SEC guy. But this is 3 years in a row. No team in the title, and it has not. We haven't went this long without putting a team in the title. You got to go back to the early 2000s. You got to go back to 99, 2000, 2001, the last time that the SEC went 3 years in a row without putting a team in the championship game. I mean, what say you, brother?
I'm gonna say this right here. I look at this right here. The more team you put in the playoffs, don't guarantee your championship, the conference championship, right? And the Big Ten winning got a possibility of winning 3 years in a row, right? And they try to do what the SEC did, right? What 11 or 12 in a row championship? They tried, but it's no guarantee. Because the team that SEC put in there, hey, if I'm going to tell you, it was a long shot. It was a long shot, and I would say out of all the schools that actually looked dominant all year was Indiana. I don't care who agree with me, who disagree with me. Indiana is one school that looked dominant all year. Out of SEC, ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, Group of Five, they were the only team that looked dominant. Can they close it out? Can they win it all? We're gonna
I
find out.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Salute to you, Slam Newton. Salute to you, Coach Sterling. I agree with you. Indiana, and it's not even close. Indiana has been the most dominant team in the nation this year. I mean, damn near perfect. That Penn State game was a little shaky, but other than that, they have. Listen, and we're salute to you, Billy Davis. We're gonna further discuss this once we get into the Q&As because it's a very important question in the Q&As. Indiana is playing on a whole nother level, and out of any team in the nation right now. And but as far as a conference as a whole, even though the Big Ten is top heavy, the top three best teams in the Big Ten pretty much were better than it. In my opinion, were better than the SEC. They-
That's
they-
why I
they-
said it. That's why I
yeah,
said what I said.
yeah. Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon. Either one of them could have won the SEC this year. The SEC, Georgia, Ole Miss, and I told everybody all season long. People laughed. People thought I was hating, and I told everybody that Ole Miss and Georgia were the two best teams in the SEC. I said it. I said this way back in October when I was doing my SEC rankings. I didn't feel good about the Aggies. I didn't because of that schedule. The only real test they had was Auburn until they got to Texas, until they had to go down to Austin and play Texas. So Ole Miss and Georgia, they were the two best teams in the SEC. And I told everybody that win that Bama had over Georgia, you can't look too much into that. I feel like they got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they won, but Georgia pretty much shot themselves in the foot. Um, Texas was not Texas. Texas had issues on offense. Florida gonna be Florida. LSU had issues on offense. LSU was flawed on one side of the ball. Bama was flawed in the running game. Texas was flawed offensively. The only two teams that really were complete in the SEC was Georgia and Ole Miss. Where if you look at the Big Ten, where if you look at the Big Ten, man, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana, those three were very complete teams and could, either of them three had a chance of winning the whole thing. Is just, I think Ohio State ran into a buzzsaw. We're gonna get into that a little later on. I think Ohio State ran into a buzzsaw, and unfortunately, Indiana is going to have to. They're gonna have to see. I'm sorry, Oregon and Indiana are gonna have to see each other. Now, this could go either way. Conventional wisdom may say that um, it's hard to beat a team twice in one season. But you also can say that Indiana is so damn dominant that if anybody can do it, they can do it. The same team that nobody thought could win coming off a bye and beat down, not only beat Bama, but they beat the brakes off of the most decorated program in college football, the big mighty Alabama Crimson Tide. They did it on the national stage at the Rose Bowl when Bama was hot. Bama was came off a huge win against Oklahoma. They were hot, and they were getting some of their players back. And Indiana beat them. They destroyed them. So, and I know some SEC fans are gonna feel some type of way about me, just publicly coming out and admitting it. But look, I'm keeping it a buck. I'm a SEC guy, born and raised in the South. I'm a Georgia boy. Look, I love my Georgia Bulldogs from the cradle to the day that I'm laid down in the grave. I'm always gonna be the red, black, and white. But I'm not gonna lie to my viewers. I'm not gonna lie to my fellow Georgia Bulldog fans. I'm not gonna lie to SEC fans on here. The SEC is not the dominant conference anymore. The SEC It's an even playing field now. It is an even play. I think right now it's the Big Ten and the SEC right here. Not by much, but I think it's the Big Ten and the SEC right now.
But I'm gonna say this
But
right.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm gonna say this right here. Think about it. I think the SEC put five teams in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Four of the teams. Take a look at their common opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, only team that didn't play Auburn this year was Ole Miss, right?
Mm-hmm.
All four games against Auburn were close. What that tell you? What that tell you? With all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that was going on in Auburn, them days could be them teams could have easily lost that game. So
Well, I mean, we're not going.
that
I'm not going. I'm not going off of hypotheticals because
nah.
if you want to say
Well,
that,
what
hold
I'm
up.
saying,
If you want to say that, if you want to say that, then we could easily say, well, Ohio State could have beat Bama. I mean, no, I'm sorry. Ohio State could have beat Miami,
yeah,
and you could have had an all Big Ten finals because I think I really think if Ohio State could have got past Miami, as deep as Ohio State was, I don't think it would have been close. I think they would have finished Ole Miss off in the first half. Um, Ohio State, I think Ohio State's loss to Miami had a lot to do with the bye, the rust from the bye, and play calling. Play calling issues. Brian, when your offensive coordinator, the thing about it, when you winning and other teams start tampering with your coaching staff, that can become a distraction in the postseason. So I think Ohio State was a victim of that this year because of Brian Hartline and the South Florida thing, the South Florida deal, and what Ryan Day should have did was they should have come to an understanding. You do not mess up the chemistry of your offense by taking over the play calling. I think that was a huge mistake. I think if Ryan Day would have let Brian Hartline call the plays that night, we probably talking about an all Big Ten finals.
yeah, and we talked about that earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's like this right here. With that being said, the Big Ten is where they at because they played a whole lot better during this playoff. They
Mm-hmm.
was they where they at because it seemed like the schools in the Big Ten wanted them more. We talked about that last night. Which team wanted them more? It seemed like the Big Ten teams wanted them more.
Well,
Look what Oregon did to Texas Tech.
not only that, I think the Big Ten. All I think the SEC got. I think right now, as far as head coaches, the SEC and the Big Ten is kind of like neck and neck.
Yeah,
Okay, in the SEC, you got Kirby and Lane, and in my opinion, those are the two best head coaches in the SEC. Where in the Big Ten now, you got Ryan Day, Kirk Signetti, and Dan Lanning.
yeah,
Now you got Ty Willingham going to Michigan. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's coaching. Salute to you, Renrock. Salute to you, brother. It's coaching. It starts at coaching. You look at the SEC head coaches, man. It don't really compare to the Big Ten. I'm just keeping it a buck. Outside of Lane Kiffin and Kirby, where are the elite head coaches in the SEC?
yeah. I'm saying this too. To add on to that, it ain't just the elite coaches; it's the coaching staff around them. What is that? You see what I'm saying? Look who they got on their staff.
Yeah, the staff is mediocre. And Matt Campbell is at Penn State. Matt Campbell is at Penn State. He gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
So SEC fans, look, this ain't 2015. This ain't 2015. This ain't the 2010. This ain't the teams. This in 2026. Now things could change. Things could change. We don't know. Look, I see a lot of potential in Pete Golden. I think Caleb DeBoer can still do some good things at Bama, but he got to put a staff around him. He got to put some SEC guys around him and quit hiring his friends.
Yeah. And one thing,
Kirby, Kirby, and I'm a Georgia fan, and I want to say this right now to all you Georgia fans: quit hating on Carson Beck. All of this Carson Beck hate. I was in the chat of a big dog caster that I have much respect for. But you said something this morning that I'm very disappointed in you, sir. You was like you angry, you mad because Carson Beck won. Why are you mad at Carson Beck? Why? Because he wanted to better himself. Georgia said no to the $4 million. He wanted $4 million. Georgia wasn't going to pay it. He went to Miami. Miami was willing to pay it. There's that. But here's the thing. I don't think, and I'm going to give you some real talk here, and then we're going to go into the Q&As. Georgia fans, listen to me real good, what I'm about to say. It ain't about the money when it comes to Miami. The thing is, you see, Miami was on the goal line, had first and goal, just like Georgia, just like my Georgia Bulldogs had first and goal against that same damn Ole Miss defense. Why Carson Beck was able to do something that Garner wasn't able to do? You know why? Because of one name, Dawson. That offensive coordinator that Miami has, he's an elite play caller. Mike Bobo, I like Mike Bobo. Salute to you, Common Sense TV. Ricardo Obama, salute to you. I'm not poo-pooing on Mike Bobo, and I'm not bashing Mike Bobo. Mike Bobo is a good play caller. He's a good offensive coordinator. Dawson is an elite play caller and an elite offensive coordinator. Big difference. Same thing, I'll say the same thing for Charlie Weiss Jr. Charlie Weiss Jr. is an elite offensive coordinator and an elite play caller. And I think the problem with Georgia is Kirby has good coordinators around him. He don't have elite coordinators around him like he did in 2021. Dan Lanning was an elite defensive coordinator. Todd Monken is an elite offensive coordinator. We all know this. This is no secret. Schumer is not elite, and Mike Bobo is not elite. I'm not bashing them. It's just the damn truth.
I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say this too, right? We're gonna find out what Lane Kiffin really is when we get to LSU, right? We're gonna find out is it him or his coaching staff around him. We're gonna find out is really Lane Kiffin gonna be worth it, that worth LSU. And for us,
Lane Kiffin is good.
yeah, he's a good coach. But we're gonna find out.
He's a good coach. I got to keep that. I got to keep that real right there.
Yeah,
I got to keep that real.
we gotta,
He's a damn good head coach.
we're gonna see what kind of coaching staff he put around him. See, can it be great? You see what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I say this. The difference between that Miami offense coordinator and Mike Bobo, the Miami coordinator first tried to make Carson Beck offense fit make Mike Carson Beck fit his offense.
They saying they can't hardly hear you, man. They saying they can't hardly hear you.
Yeah, they try to make Carson Beck fit his offense. He said, "Wait a minute here." He did like Gus did. He made his offense fit Carson Beck style of play. That's the difference. These coaches to try to make the quarterback, running back, the defensive player play their defense instead of try to make their defensive offense fit the play caliber player they got.
Hmm.
So that's what Miami did. That's what Miami coach did, and that what Mike Bobo got to find something that worked for Gunner Stockton and fit his play calling that fits Gunner Stockton game.
Well, it ain't rocket science. Taking my kind of mouth away from the mic. It ain't rocket science. You just don't have you don't have your quarter. You don't call dumb plays like having your quarterback to run up the middle, having your quarterback to hike the ball and just run straight up the middle. You don't do that. Not one time that Weiss called a dumbass play like that. Not one time did Dawson call a dumbass play like that. You wasting downs. When you got your quarterback going up under center and have him to dance around a little bit and then falling straight ahead for 1 or 2 yards, you wasting downs. And you were three and out waiting to happen. It's just, it's just common sense. Football 101. Be a little bit more creative. Hit the defense with something that they're not ready for. Don't be so damn predictable. And I think that's the problem with Bobo. But like I said, I'm not bashing Mike Bobo. I think he could be a little bit more creative with his play calling. That's all I'm saying. All that, bubble screen, tonal screen, you call that shit 1,000 times. And these defensive coordinators in the SEC and these defensive coordinators in the playoffs, you going up against better coordinators, elite coordinators, and they're going to be ready for that. They're going to be ready for that. So let's go on into the Q&As, man. The Indiana Hoosiers have a chance. I just want to say this, man, before I read this. Look, Carson Beck did what was best for Carson Beck. Georgia did what was best for Georgia. Stop the hate. I'm not a hater. Okay. Was I low key pulling for Ole Miss? Yes. It didn't have nothing to do with Carson Beck personally. I was pulling for Ole Miss because I was wanting an SEC team to get it. If we couldn't get it, I always said if we didn't win it, I would hope Ole Miss would win it. But it didn't have nothing to do with Carson Beck personally. So all these Georgia fans with the Carson Beck hate, talking about they hate Carson Beck and wishing bad on him and wishing him to get hurt. Come on, that's petty. We are better than that. We are better than that. We are UGA. We are better than that. Come on. I'm not a hater. I'm a football fan. All right. The Indiana Hoosiers have a chance to go down in history as one of the greatest college football teams of all time. Yes or no? If they pull this off, win tonight, and then go down to Miami and defeat the Miami Hurricanes, do we need to start talking about Indiana as one of the greatest teams of all time? Put them up there with the '95 Nebraska team. The put them up there with the '01 Hurricanes. Put them up there with the 2014 Ohio State team. Put them up there with the 2015 Bama team and the 2022 Georgia team. Should we in that 2019 LSU team? If Indiana pulls this off, wins a rematch against Oregon, D-True, and then go and beat a tough ass Miami team in their stadium, in their home stadium, when, in your opinion, would this be the best run in college football history by any college football team in college football history? Yes or no?
I'm not gonna call them one of the greatest. Cause if you go undefeated in college football and win a national championship, that don't mean you're the greatest football. That don't mean you're the greatest football team. Cause guess what? If you're gonna say that, 2010 Auburn team went undefeated. You see what I'm saying? So, cause your team went undefeated and win a national championship, don't make you the greatest team, one of the greatest team. Can you do it consecutively, back to back, and keep continue doing it? That is the question. That is my thing about one of the greatest team in college football. Can you keep doing it? That's my thing. If Indiana can keep doing it, yes, I'll put them in there.
I
Until then,
You didn't hear the
until
question.
then,
You didn't hear the question.
until,
I said if they win tonight. and they win in my in and they win down there in Miami, win the championship game in Miami, finish 15-0. And think about it now. They would have had to go to Eugene and beat Oregon, beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, destroyed Bama, which a lot of people were picking them to lose to Bama, then turn around and win a rematch against Oregon, and then go and play a championship game, which is not a neutral site. It will be a road game. It will officially be a road game. Whoever wins tonight, they're going to play a road championship game. First time in history. First time in college football history that a team will have to play a road game in the championship game. Bruh, ain't no other team had to go through a gauntlet like that, D-True.
But like I said, you didn't hear what I said. I said no. I said no.
Okay, well, that's your
Co-
opinion, man. That's your opinion.
yeah, yeah,
That's your
yeah. Cause,
I don't know of any other resume that would be better than that.
they can
There's
wonder.
no other,
Hold on, hold on.
not even LSU in 2019. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't think that LSU team could have beat Bama in a rematch. I don't think that LSU team could have beat Bama in a rematch. I don't think they could have beat Auburn in a rematch in 2019. Because remember, Auburn finished the year hot, and they barely beat Auburn in 2019. They barely beat Bama. I don't think they could have beat Bama in the rematch. If this team, see that Indiana Oregon game, that first game, I compare it to that LSU Bama game in 2019. So if Indiana, think about the gauntlet, had to go to Eugene, had to face Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, had to play Bama coming off a bye, that ain't easy. And not only did they beat Bama, they beat them down. Then they have to turn around and play a week later. They have to play a rematch playoff game with Oregon. While Oregon coming off a huge win against Texas Tech, then they have to turn around and play a road championship game. They got to go into Miami, into Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, into the Hurricanes' home field and play them. No other team in the history of college football had to go through a gauntlet like that to win a national title. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, all time, no, because you go through a gauntlet like that, it don't make you one of the greatest college football team of all time because you do that.
Okay.
It's the consistency of your program that make you one of the greatest
That,
college
that,
football team of all time.
I didn't say would that make them the greatest program of all time. The greatest program of all time, even though they're flawed right now, the greatest program right now, the best program right now this century is Bama because they won the most national titles. Just because they lost 4 games this year, it doesn't take away the fact that they have been the most dominant program this century. So what I'm just saying, when I say one of the greatest teams or the greatest team, I'm talking about for 1 year in 2025. If they pull this off, they will have the best resume of any national championship team of all time.
Yeah, I
You
agree
can't
with you.
find no. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You
Yeah,
can't find no
but
team
when
with a
you worded the
resume like
question,
that.
but when the question worded, I'm going by the way the question was worded. You see what I'm
It
saying?
says teams. It don't say programs, brother. It say
It
teams.
said it said
Teams mean for that year. For that year.
no, but it said of all time at the end. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
That's what I'm looking at.
if they pulled it, in my opinion, I don't know what. Okay, so if you and I heard
1 year, 1 year.
teams, bro, your team it plays 1 year. They're just
Yeah,
like hold up, man. They're just
all
like
time mean the
they're just
cross
like
college football board though.
They're just like when people talk about the 72 Dolphins, they are referring to what the Dolphins did in 1972. They ain't talking about what they did in 73. They ain't talking about what they did in 74, 75. When they talk about the 72 Dolphins and how great that team was, they talk about the greatness of the Miami Dolphins in 1972. I'm talking about the greatness of this Indiana Hoosier team. If they pull this off, the greatness of this team in the year 2025. Like we talk about that '01 Hurricanes team, the greatness of that team in '01, because a lot of the players that was on that '01 Hurricane team, they were not there in '02. Air Reed wasn't there in '02. Reggie Wayne wasn't there in '02. Jeremy Chocolate wasn't there in '02. That's what puts that '01 Hurricane team on another level, because they were Santana Moss, all of them, they had left in '01. They left. But I hear
Yeah,
what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, man. Talent wise, it may not. A lot of people will judge their decision on talent. Is it the most talented college football team of all time? Hell no. Hell no. They ain't got but what, about 10 5-stars on the team? Probably less than that. I'm going off the resume and how they dominated this year. And it ain't like they avoided team. They avoided team. If they pull this off, they pull this off. 'Cause remember now, I've already acknowledged the Big Ten was the best conference in 2025. Okay, so they would have beaten the two best teams in the best conference, and then went on to beat a sleeping giant in those Miami Hurricanes in their backyard. That's remarkable, man.
yeah, and because I guess I had got that way you worded the question kind of threw me off. You know what I'm saying? When you say all time and what are the greatest team? Yeah, this year. Yeah, I can say that for this year. You see what I'm saying?
But
And
not the most talented team. When it comes to talent, I would have to say it's a tie between the most talented teams of all time. I would have to say it's probably a tie between the '01 Hurricanes, the '01 Hurricanes, and the 2019 LSU Tigers, as far as talent wise.
yeah, and I'm gonna say this right here. Cause you got a team called what conference you win a championship. About it, guess what? The SEC had lost what the last two, had won championship the last 2 years, and they go for
Mm-hmm.
the last 3 years right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yet continuously put the most players in the NFL every year. So you can look at the best conference in two for different ways. You feel what I'm saying? You look at it two different ways. So
Let me respond to Alpha. Alpha, the Hurricane. No, sir, the Hurricanes did not dominate everybody in '01. Go pull their schedule up. They almost lost to Boston College that year. It was a Thursday night game. You know what I'm talking about, D Truth, where Ed Reed had got that lucky strip that he stripped the ball from the Boston College running back. Now the Boston College running back, they was on the goal line getting ready to go in and take the lead and win the game. The Boston College running back fumbled, and the Miami Hurricane, one of the Miami Hurricanes had got the ball, and then Ed Reed took it out of his hand and ran for a touchdown. Miami came that close to losing to Boston College. It was on a Thursday night. Go Google it. Go Google their '01 schedule. Yeah, 95 Nebraska's up there. Um, but talent, put it like this: they were college foot. When I say talent, generational talent, they didn't really have generational talent on that team. They were talented, but they didn't have generational talent on that team. I would put the 2014 Ohio State team, national championship team, with Michael Thomas and they had some Bosa. They had some dogs on that 2014 Ohio State team, man. Y'all put a lot of players in the
yeah,
NFL that year.
I'm gonna say this right here. Cause you got the most talent, don't mean a doggone thing in college football.
No, you gotta
Cause
win. You gotta win. Winning counts. Winning counts. Okay. Are the Miami Hurricanes the next dynasty of college football? I'm gonna take this one first. Yes. Yes, I'm going to let you go first, and then I'm going to go behind you and explain to you why I think they're going to be the next dynasty. But yes, the Miami Hurricanes are going to be the next dynasty of college football. Get ready.
I'm gonna
Get
say
ready.
I would say yes and no. If they could keep the coaching staff together, if Chris Paul don't go get tempted by the NFL, whatever, and they keep getting talent down there, keep coaching the talent up, yes, they can be. I don't care how much money they got down there to get players there. They got to keep the coaches there and develop them players, become one of the greatest. They can become a dynasty. And no, if they cannot do that, they will not. They will not.
Well, I'm going to explain to you why. So I'm basically going to pick it back off the live we did on July the 1st, 2021. Do you remember that live we did on Facebook? Me, you, Sniper, Jaco. We did a live. And remember, that was the day that the NIL went into effect. And do you remember what I said that day? Do you remember what I said in that live? I
Go
said
ahead.
that SMU, USC, I was wrong about USC so far, but I also said Miami. Those programs are going to come back and dominate and win national titles. Because think about it, those three programs, bro, when it wasn't legal, when it wasn't legal and they was able to do it under the table, pay players under the table, they would dominate. Can you imagine now that it is legal, now that it is allowed? And also, when you think about the state of Florida, the best talent comes from the North Miami area. Opelika, Liberty City, Overtown. The best talent comes from that South Florida area. Orlando on down to the Keys. So if they start keeping that talent at home, because think about it now, they don't just have money going for them. They don't just have the money going for them, bro. It's the Florida sunshine, no tax state, beautiful women. What young man at age 17 and 18 years old wouldn't want to go to Miami, to South Beach, go to college and play football down there? Now I think the University of Miami need to do one thing. And I think this one thing will put the icing on the cake, and they will be able to get any player to come down there and play for them, regardless of the money. They need to build a stadium close by the campus. Right now, fans and students have to drive damn near 20 miles.
It is 20 miles. It is
Yeah,
20 miles where they can drive.
they have to drive 20 miles to a home game, man. They need to be, and they got enough land down there in Coral Gables. I don't understand. They need to build a stadium right there on campus. They need to do the same thing UAB did. Build a damn stadium on campus so it would be convenient. It would be convenient for the students, the family members, and the fans to get to the games. And then think about it. Now you got game day. Miami is going to be on game day a lot next year. Just think if they had a stadium right there on the campus, it would be a lot more convenient. And and that money is going to the university, not to the stadium, not to you. And I don't like the idea of college football games being played in a pro venue. I never liked that. Bowl games, yes, playoff games, yes, but regular season, they need their own stadium. It don't have to be big. It ain't got to be no $100,000 seat stadium like a SEC stadium. It ain't got to be that big. It could seat 75,000, 70,000, 80,000, or something like that. But yes, they are the next dynasty. This team, I like what Cristobal, the direction he got this team. He's a hometown guy. He was born and raised in Miami. Went to Christopher Columbus High School. Born and raised, so it means a lot to him. He really loves and care about this program. He's not an outsider. He is in a Miami guy.
Yeah, and
It's just like us having Kirby. It's an advantage when you got an alumni running the program.
I'm saying this. You said one thing that really piqued my interest, right? The question is, can they, will they be able to keep some majority of that talent in Miami?
It damn sure
That is
looked
the big
like it.
question.
They kept Malachi Tony because Ohio State wanted Malachi Tony bad, bad. Ohio State wanted Mark Fletcher. Ohio State wanted Ruben Baines. Bama wanted Ruben Baines. Texas wanted Ruben Baines. We wanted Mesidor. They flipped Mesidor from us. Brown, they flipped Brown from us. The Marion kid, they flipped Marion from y'all. Y'all had him locked. They
Yeah,
came at the last minute. They keep their home talent. Remember, that's what Jimmy Johnson did. That's what Howard Schnellenberger did. That's how the Miami dynasty was actually built, keeping that talent at home.
yeah. And the thing about it, that talent, and I would say this: that why some of the talent at Georgia, Auburn, Bama, all these states. Sometimes when you keep your talent at home, it means more to that player.
Mm-hmm.
They want to win it for that city, want to win it for that state. You see what I'm saying? That's what people don't get. Sometimes I'm gonna take this rivalry, Alabama Auburn rivalry. How they don't like each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
They look Miami and Florida State. They know that they them kids that know what that rivalry is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a kid from another state and put them in that situation. They don't know what that rivalry really means.
Mm-hmm.
The Georgia Auburn rivalry. Hey, Georgia players go to Auburn. Georgia Alabama players go to Georgia. They know what that rivalry means. Take a kid from the north coming down here, the Miami and all that place. They don't know what rivalry means. They want to beat the kid at that door, especially the kid from Tallahassee. You see what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like a kid that plays at dreams of playing for the Georgia Bulldogs or the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and dream about getting drafted by their hometown pro team, the Falcons, or any other pro team. That's a dream. That's a dream made in heaven, right there. Playing for your hometown team. That's a dream made in heaven. But
Yeah.
that's also some pressure. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's gonna be
Some,
pressure. No, it's gonna be pressure no matter where you go. Pressure is
yeah, no,
always
well,
pressure playing Division 1 football. Let me answer this question. Alpha said the issue with Miami home talent is that there's a lot of I ain't gonna repeat that. Kids of a lot of problems. Hey, listen, brother, it's kids from all backgrounds with problems. So I'm not gonna play into that, that talking point right there. You got kids from the suburbs. They got issues. The thing about it is it's swept under the rug by the media. You got kids from the sticks, from the trailer parks that has issues, that's strung out on meth and strung out on fentanyl and all kinds of stuff. That the media don't talk about. They sweep it under the rug. They only focus on one region of the country, and they focus
yeah,
on what's going on in the hood. But I will tell you this, brother, it was a lot of gentrification going on down there in North Miami. So it's nothing like it was back in the '80s with Howard Schnellenberger and Jimmy Johnson. The issues, all of that stuff, Jerome Brown and and Playmaker Irvin and Toby Bain and all of them were doing, going to clubs and having shootouts and stuff like that. You ain't gonna it ain't gonna go down like that. It ain't gonna go down like that because see, now you got people like Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, Ed Reed, them, they dare. They dare to tell them kids, hey, no, this ain't the way to do it. Don't do what we did. Don't do Warren Sapp them he gonna tell them kids, hey, don't do what we did. Hey, go this route. Go this route. Go this route. Don't go the route we went. That's what that they got. See, that's something that Michael Urban them didn't. They didn't have that. They didn't have any elders to come on the sidelines and encourage them. Hey, look, this the way to go. That's the way to go. No, they didn't have it on. They had Luke, and back then Luke is a different person now. Luke and Trick Daddy, they done got they're more homebody men now. They done got older. They in their 60s. They ain't out there wilding out like that. But they had Luke and Trick Daddy, people like that. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. You know. And plus they were young, and that was a different time. A
Yeah,
different time in the 80s and the early 90s or whatever. It ain't going down like that. A lot of them areas you thinking about Alpha, they've been gentrified.
yeah. I'm gonna say this right here. And two, back when back when you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't. Unlike today, it too many cameras, too many people know them, too many. You can look up these players on social media, look them up, Google some of these players, and it put away. They're more of a spotlight now.
Mm-hmm.
They're more of a spotlight now. So I don't care what area a player come from, the hood, the suburb, the trailer park, no matter where they come from, the spotlights is on, especially if they're a big name.
Yeah.
Especially if they're a
And
big name.
and
So
and, and,
that way
and
Irvin there was that way Irvin there. Only time
mhm.
you hear about what happened is the big news media put it out there. Now
and
you got people looking at seeing what happened, putting it on social media for the sports station put it out there. So
mhm.
it's more spotlight.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Exactly. And like I said, you got mess Alpha, you got mess going on in all neighborhoods. You got mess going on in the hood, you got mess going on in the sticks, and you damn sure got mess going on in the suburbs. I'm in the suburbs. And I can give you and I can tell you some stories, bro. Ain't no angels out here in the suburb, bro. These
They keep it
little,
hush hush.
yeah, they just keep it hush hush, and the media ain't gonna talk about it. They sweep it on the rug. But
It more,
anything that go on downtown around them parts where it's a lot of, they gonna blast that all over the media. That's all I'm saying. So you got to keep that in mind. So let's go on to the next question, man. Um, which team has the edge tonight, Oregon or Indiana? I'm gonna say Oregon has the edge tonight because it's a rematch game, and rematches, nobody has won a rematch in the playoffs, and I'm talking about a power five rematch. Now the Tulane Ole Miss or Tulane is a group of five team. I'm talking about a power five, power four, two teams where the team won in the regular season and have to meet again in the playoffs. Nobody has pulled that off yet. So that's why I say Oregon has the edge because it's a rematch and you got them on film. You already got them on film. It's not a team that you haven't faced before, like what Ole Miss and Miami had to go through last night.
I'm going to go different route, right that you just did. I'm gonna say Oregon got the edge because Oregon had to play two games in the playoff. They had to play two games
Mm-hmm.
in the playoff, and right now they are cooking. They seem like they're cooking on all cylinders right now. Where Indiana only played what, one game, so that's why I get the edge to Oregon for having the edge coming into the game. Does that mean Oregon gonna win? No, Because Indiana beat them during the regular season, being Oregon gonna win? No, that ain't what we saying. We just said they got the edge coming into the ball game.
Hmm. All right. Let's go on to the next question here, brother. Level Up Sports. Salute to you, brother. Happy Friday to you. He said he's going with Oregon tonight. It's a couple of people that are going with Oregon tonight, man. They think Oregon could pull off the upset. Um, Keys to victory tonight for Oregon. D Truth.
I don't think Oregon gonna be able to do what they did last week. They had to do a combination of both, passing and running the ball against Indiana, and the defense is gonna have to. The defense gonna have to play like they played last week. Bottom line, that's my key to victory for Oregon. They defense are gonna have to play like they played in last week's playoff game. They gotta play like they played last week. I'm putting it on the defense. So if they don't play like they played like last week, they gonna be a long night for Oregon.
I agree with you. The defense has got to play well tonight. They got to do what they did against Texas Tech. They got to win first and third down, and they got to keep Mendoza off the field. They got to keep him off the field. They got to do what Miami did to Ole Miss in the first half. You got to get them off the field, three and out, three and out. If they can pull that off, Oregon got a damn good chance of winning this game because what makes Oregon dangerous is that they have a running game, and that is if Indiana has any weakness, their weakness is they're a little bit susceptible to the run. Their run defense is a little suspect. So, um, but Oregon got to get Indiana off the field. They got to keep them out of the end zone, and that's something that no team has been able to do this year. You know, when it counts, keep them out of the damn end zone. Penn State almost pulled it off, but hey, keys to victory for Indiana tonight. I'm gonna start it off. Um, Start fast, start early, jump on top of Oregon early and often. Put them away early. Don't play around with them. They got to jump on top of them early. They got to do to Oregon what they did to Bama last night. They got to go. They got to end them in a hurry, and end them quick. That's my keys to victory.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. And they basically what Armando said is do what you've been doing all year. Jump on team and jump on them quick and jump on them often. That's what they've been doing all year. That's what they've been doing all year. Jumping on team and pounding on, put the pressure on them. Hey, I'm like this right here with Indiana. They got to do that, and they're gonna cut out of Oregon. Can you stop them? That is the question.
Give me your bold prediction tonight, D. True. Your bold prediction for tonight.
Well, we talking about a whole lot about Indiana is susceptible to the run. My bold prediction is Oregon is not going to have that many rushing yards tonight. They might have about 50, 60 yard rushing. They are not going to have over 100-yard rushing.
Woo. I'm gonna go the opposite. I think Indiana's running game is gonna play a huge part tonight. If Indiana's gonna win, um, they're gonna have to do some damage on the ground. It won't be just the pass because Oregon has a pretty nice secondary. They're gonna have to do some damage to that Oregon defense on the ground, and it's James Madison did. James Madison, they put up over 500 yards of offense and mostly on the ground on on that Oregon defense. So yeah, I think Indiana's going to have a good running night tonight, good rushing night tonight. All right, helmet stickers. My helmet sticker from last night, definitely, without a doubt, that kid, Marion. When Ole Miss started double teaming Malachi Tony, Marion stepped up, and on that last drive, he was elite. He was elite. I know Beck scored the touchdown from the goal line, but on that drive, Marion made some clutch catches. He made some clutch catches on that drive, and he was clutch in the fourth quarter, the entire fourth quarter. So he'll get my helmet sticker.
You know what? Although I predicted Beck going to have a good game that night, I got to go with Malachi Tony.
Mm-hmm.
He did the
Mm-hmm.
little thing a wide receiver should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
He did a little thing. He he got all the attention. Marion, he had a breakout. He had a would you call that a breakout game for him last night?
Well, his that Aggies game, that Texas A&M game was more of his breakout.
Yeah.
He was lit. He had a hell of a fire game that, but he had a good game last night. But he had help though, because he
But
was locked down.
yeah, his stock went way up for
Yeah,
last night too.
yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm getting at.
yeah.
Yeah, Malachi Tony on one of them runs for Fletcher, he can. I seen a block. How many times you see a wide receiver come around and make a block, but get a holding call on him? That's
Exactly,
a beautiful block. That's a beautiful block. And I'm gonna put it like this: if it weren't for them two, maybe wouldn't even been in the position they in. So we got to give
exactly,
it to both of the wide receivers. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. So I take it
exactly.
Malachi
Yeah,
Tony.
man. Now, one thing we found out. One thing we found out about that Miami team, they can win in a shootout. That's something I didn't think they could do. They were put in a situation, and I said this on the pregame show. In order for them to beat Ole Miss, they're gonna have to score over 30 points. They did it. They did it. They was able to score over 30 points, and they was able to compete in a shootout. So, uh,
And who wanted it came down to
congratulations
who
to
wanted the
Miami.
more. And it
Yeah,
came, hey, like I said last night, it came down to who wanted the more. And I said that last night on the pregame show. And guess what? Miami wanted the more. And I'm
exactly.
telling you, I'm telling you this one though. I guarantee you, some German
Mhm.
fan that was hating on Carson Bet over that last drive, they were thinking, "Oh, he finna F up." How much want to bet on? How much want to? They were praying he
Well,
F up.
it wasn't just Georgia fans. Here, Kurt Herb Street and Chris Fowler them wasn't too confident. They were like run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. When they got down to the goal line, they were like, I wouldn't call no pass play. So a lot of it wasn't just Georgia fans, man. A lot, even some Miami fans were holding their breath when Carson Beck went back to pass, man. Because remember, they was in that same spot with SMU. It was in that same spot with the SMU brother. So it is
Yeah,
what it is. Though
yeah, it is
they
what it is.
won. Yeah, they won, and hey, it is what it is. Um, Now the main event for tonight, the Peach Bowl here in the dirty, the ATL has been rocking. And shout out to the Indiana people, man. Y'all showed up and showed out, man. Yeah, Indiana,
They sure did.
yeah, they took over the ATL. They took over the ATL this week. Shout out to the Big Red from the Indiana Hoosier Nation. Salute to you. Salute, 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 salute. Let's see if that can translate on the field. So we're gonna let you go first, brother. Who you got winning this game tonight?
You know, I rode with Indiana last year. I rode with them this year, right? I'm not getting off that train. I'm not getting off that train, bro. I got to stick with my Indiana Hoosier, bro. I got to stick with them. I've been riding with them, so I'm going Indiana.
Um, Man, Indiana's is strong. No, normally when it comes to these rematches, nobody has pulled it off in a rematch. Nobody has beaten a team, the team that they beat in the regular season, turn around and beat them again in the playoffs. Nobody has been able to do it. Oregon wasn't able to do it last year to Ohio State. Bama wasn't able to do it to Georgia a couple of years ago. My Georgia Bulldogs wasn't able to do it to Ole Miss last week, but tonight is different. This Indiana team is different. This Indiana team is elite. Their head coach is elite. That staff is elite. Those players are playing on the elite level. They may not be 5 stars. They may not be 5 stars where they come out of high school with a whole lot of Under Armour hype. No, none of these players did. But guess what? These players are well coached, and they're the most disciplined team in college football. I'm rolling with the Hoosiers tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ain't even is not close. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Indiana pull away maybe by and win this game maybe by 17 points. So I'm going with the Hoosiers. And I had a poll up earlier, and so far the poll we had a little bit over like almost 40 votes. Indiana, it's a landslide, man. India, who you got winning
Hey,
tonight?
I know when I went to did the poll, I'm like, God, so.
Mhm. It's a landslide, man. It's looking like Reagan Mondale. Uh, uh, man, Indiana is leading 74% to Oregon's 26%. So a lot of people feel the same way that we feel. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
See, hey, you know what? You know what surprised me though? Last year, some of the teams that I picked.
Common sense TV. No Bama didn't. Y'all lost to Oklahoma in the regular season. You beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
Indiana would be the first to do it, to beat a team twice in the regular season and in the playoffs.
And I would say this right here. Last year, I had teams. Where I went, they didn't do so hot. They didn't make the playoff, whatever.
Hmm.
But it look here. It's not shocking to me what Cincinnati doing up there in Indiana. It's not shocking. We know
Hmm.
he was good. We knew he was good. But dang, look at the coaching staff got. But, hey, I'm telling you, Oregon got their work cut out for them. Got their work
Bama
cut out for them.
Bama fans got to be kicking themselves right now. They really got to be kicking themselves right now. Because let's go back to 2023. Let's go back to the day after the Rose Bowl when Nick Saban announced that he was going to retire. The day after New Year's in 2024, Nick Saban announced he was going to retire. Signetti was available. Dan Lanning made a statement that he would be open to coming, going down to Tuscaloosa and coaching. Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin would have loved to went to Bama. He would have left Ole Miss in a heartbeat, and went to Tuscaloosa. So Bama had a chance to get Signetti. But they chose. At first, they wanted Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell told them no, and then they went on ahead and got Kalen DeBoer. So I'll never understand that, but it is what it is. But now we get to the part of the show that I really, really don't like. The Slow Walking Sad Singing Award. Ole Miss, you had a good season, good run, the greatest season in school history, 13 wins. You won the rematch against my Georgia Bulldogs. You should have been in the SEC championship game. That's where the first rematch should have took place at, in the SEC championship game. But that's neither here or there. He had a great season, great run. Uh, it was just a game where whoever had the ball last, because both defenses struggled last night. So the offenses really carried Both offenses carried the teams, and it just came down to whoever had the ball last. And Miami just so happened to have the ball last, and Miami won. So, congratulations on a great season, the greatest season in Ole Miss University history. But unfortunately, you lost to the Miami Hurricanes. Your season is officially over. So tonight you get the Slow Walking Sad Singing Award. And like I always say, let not your hearts be troubled.
Oh, we're gonna give out think who gonna
Man,
get the Helmet sticker for the
you
night.
let me continue, man. God, we already gave out the helmet stickers. You don't remember that?
I'm trying for the particular for a Helmet sticker for the night.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be at the end, man. Let me finish. Let me finish, man. Let not your hearts be troubled. There's always next year. But you had a great season, so I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Nobody, nobody predicted, nobody predicted that you would be in the semifinals. Not even your old head coach believed in you. So kudos to you. All right, helmet stickers. I could have sworn we did the helmet stickers for
We did it for
tonight.
last night. We did it for last night now, but not for the night.
Okay,
No,
go
do
okay, go ahead and give me your helmet sticker.
oh Hardy for Indiana, the linebacker. He gonna have a monstrous game. Or gonna have a problem with him tonight.
I think Black is gonna have a damn good game tonight. I think Black is going to I think Black and Cooper because they're gonna key in on Surratt. They're going to double team. They're going to try to double team Surratt. That's going to free up Cooper. It's going to be a situation like last night when Ole Miss came out at halftime, started doubling up on Tony, and Marion was running around the secondary free. I think you're gonna Cooper is going to have that type of night tonight. So that's it. So all right, brother. Hey, it's been a great pregame show, and somebody is going to have to play a road championship game. First time in college football history. There's one thing about these playoffs, man. History has been made in these playoffs, and history is going to be made. So the winner is going to have to play a road game in the championship. So
Although although the winner might wind up being the home team, but it ain't gonna be the home crowd.
yeah, the winner. Here's the good news. If you were in Indiana Oregon fan, you will be the home team. You'll get to run out on the field first. You will get to wear your home jerseys. But Miami is going to wear their road white. But here's the thing: in championship games, when Miami wear those whites, they are hard as hell to beat. They hell to beat. When they wear them white uniforms in a championship game, they are hell to beat. But hey, like I said, man, this like just like Miami is on the mission, these two teams right here are hungry and on a mission. Oregon and Indiana. Listen, the Final Four, in my opinion, we had Ole Miss and Miami were the two best teams on that side of the bracket, and Oregon and Indiana were the two best teams on the other side of the bracket, in my opinion. Because all four of those teams finished strong and they finished hot. They finished hot. They were playing on a whole nother level. All four of those teams. So we're getting some good playoffs this year. So, any
I'm gonna
final
say this.
thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here, and we gotta look at it like this. Miami didn't know that they were gonna get in the playoff or not.
Mm-mm.
So basically, Miami, and we're gonna find out. in Miami a team of destiny next week, or is that pressure gonna get to them and playing it? Might well say on their home field. Is the pressure
That's
gonna get to them?
that's a good point. That's a damn good point there. That's a damn good point. The pressure's gonna be on Miami because you at home in front of your home crowd, and a lot of people are gonna be picking Miami. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana won, that Vegas would have Miami as the favorite going into that game. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. But I'm gonna get a shout out to Trinidad Chandler's mom and Fletcher mom. It don't matter what they playing at. Guess what? They on a road trip.
Mm.
Hey, some people just come to the home games to come to some big road game. It seems like they were there at every game. But hey, Trinidad Chandler, Ole Miss, you got a quarterback coming back,
No,
so
he's
don't
not.
be
No, he's
despair.
not. Breaking
Oh,
news. He was denied this afternoon.
huh? He
He
was
was
denied.
denied. He was denied this afternoon.
Ooh, that's a big
So,
blow right there.
so what they're gonna do is they're gonna bring in Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight, Mississippi born, hometown kid. I think he would be a perfect fit for Ole Miss and that system. So I expect Deuce Knight to commit and sign with Ole Miss between now and by the end of the weekend. So keep an eye on that. Trinidad Chambliss was denied a waiver, and he was denied 6-year eligibility. You know what? Listen. I'm in favor of that. I agree with the committee deciding on that. Listen, I don't want 17, 18-year-old kids playing against grown men. My thing is, you play college football, you play 4 years, you go on to the NFL. Or you go, if you ain't ready for the NFL, go to the Canadian Football League or go to the UFL. Don't
Yeah,
don't hang around taking up space and taking up playing time from these younger kids. I think these to allow someone that's in their mid 20s to remain in college football. I don't, I don't. You might as well start letting the freshmen. You might as well do like college basketball then. Start letting like freshmen like Malachi Tony. Might as well let him go ahead and declare for the NFL draft after his freshman year. If you're gonna allow players that are damn near 30 years old to remain in college and play against 17, 18-year-old kids, that's just my opinion, man.
I'm gonna say this right here. Then we'll get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
What started all this, right? There you go, Pavir. He played at Digital College, at community college.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They really don't count that as a college, which I think is not right. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's still college, and that why some of these players was able to play as long as they did. But hey, it is what it is. So
Right.
that's my thought. That's my thought on it. Junior college or community college you played at, that still is a college,
Yeah.
no matter what you played at.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna let some other players get an extra year, another player should be able to get an extra year. Pavir, he got an extra year, right? He played at the junior college or community
Mm-hmm.
college, didn't he? So what wrong
Yeah.
with letting Trinidad Chandler play an extra year?
Well, I like I said, I mean, I don't agree. I don't agree with. I feel like you play 4 years. I don't give a damn if it's at a technical college. If you played 4 years of football and on a college level, after that fourth year, it's time to go because you're taking up space from freshmen and sophomores that have been waiting around to play. You're taking up space and you're taking up playing time. If you're not ready for the end, a lot of these players they choose to come back for the money and they come back because they know they're not going to get a good draft grade in the NFL. If you ain't ready for the NFL, go to the UFL. Go to the Canadian Football League. The NFL, those GMs, they also pull talent out of the UFL and the Canadian Football League. Don't stay in college. I don't agree with someone that's damn near 30 playing against 17 and 18-year-old kids. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Because if
I'm
you're
with you
gonna
on
do
that.
that, if you're gonna do that, you might as well let some of these freshman phenoms like Jeremiah Smith from last year, Malachi Tony, players like Leonard Fournette back in the days. You might as well let them, play 1 year and then go on into the NFL. If you're gonna allow 25, 26, 27-year old players to play against 17, 18-year-old kids, come on.
I agree with you on that. They shouldn't be. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. Junior college, community college. You don't play 1 or 2 years there. You play 1 year community college, junior college football. That means you got 3 years left. You play 2 years. That means you got 2 years of eligibility left. So after them 2 years, 2 or 3 years eligibility is up, you should be able to play. Hey, I'm with you on that, bro.
All righty, man. So go ahead and give me your final thoughts, man. So I know you go. I know what you getting ready to do. You getting ready to fry you some hamburgers and some French fries, man. Get ready to enjoy this game. Friday night routine. I know your routine Friday night.
Nah, nah, nah. But I'm gonna say this: if y'all looking for a game like it was last night, forget about it. It ain't gonna be that exciting. They ain't gonna have you on the
Mm-mm.
edge of the seat. It ain't gonna be that kind of game. But like I said last night, enjoy your college football playoff. Enjoy your weekend. And stay out of trouble. And two other things: love and respect yourself. Because when you love and respect yourself, you can see all through the BS. Self love is the best kind of love when you love yourself. Because who can love you better than you love yourself? And one more thing: although Auburn ain't in it, basketball team is a little rocket right now. But guess what? I'm still gonna holler war damn eagle.
All right, brother. And on that note, once again, congratulations to the University of Miami and the Miami Hurricanes football team for making it to the national championship game. They get to host that game at home, even though they will be the de facto road team, but they will be, the home team. They will be at home in their own stadium. Congratulations to Miami once again. Thank you all for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you all for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And once again, I just want to thank you all. Thank you all for the love and support that you all have shown throughout the college football season. So after we won't have a post game show tonight. No post game show tonight. So I will be doing a reaction on it on this game tomorrow, and we'll get ready for the championship game. The winner tonight faces the winner. The winner tonight faces Miami 10 days from now on January the 19th on King Day, which will be the national championship game for this year. So everyone enjoy the rest of your college football Friday night. Oh, also have NFL playoffs. I'm gonna give another bold prediction. I think the Carolina Panthers are gonna upset the Rams. I think the Carolina Panthers are gonna upset the Rams. I'm calling a huge upset in the NFL playoffs. So I'm just putting it out there. All right. So everyone, peace and blessings. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you all for coming out to the kickoff show. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Stay out of trouble. Be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. And like I always say, no matter what, from the cradle to the grave, win, lose, or draw, it's always going to be go dogs. Sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. Everyone be safe, be blessed, and enjoy your Friday night and enjoy this college football game.